Hey guys, it's Mike the Wrestling God Smith, and you're watching On Wrestling, the premier wrestling YouTube that focuses on Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and 205 Live. But anyway, guys, I am gonna like the reason why this video tonight is I didn't do a video yesterday was because I thought of doing Raw and SmackDown because I'm gonna talk about both shows instead of one at a time. So I did see Raw, I saw all of it, and I think Raw was a solid C, and I'll give you the first thing I saw, which was the basically like when Raw started, I saw Mojo Rawley. I Mojo Rawley came back, which I was surprised. But here's the thing that kind of surprised me because I've been wondering what happened to him, and I looked up an article on him, and I think he's been in. I think he's got to be in WWE Main Event, the other show that's on the WWE Network. I just haven't heard anything about it because that's the craziest part. And my second question to that it would be, what are they gonna do with him? Because it feels like they're not really doing anything. They're not gonna really do anything with him unless they can put him on a singles one, which I kind of doubt because Mojo Rawley is he is a specimen, but he's not like Braun and like he's kind of like I think he was more of a commodity, and I thought he was more cool and funny because he would always say bro, and he would always do some weird stuff because he was a funny guy. But I don't get it with him. I don't. And I did like that segment, but I did like the AJ Styles like the video package. But the truth will happen on Money in the Bank, and I kind of feel that they're kind of pushing their like the rivalry's hot, and I like that it is hot, but but other than that, it was just boring because like it got hot during the third hour, but it was pretty much the same, and I was like, they didn't even try anything different. Bray has a new gimmick which I like, and I kind of like the new gimmick with the it clown mask, which I like it because it reminds me. It kind of has a little bit of references to it, Twisted Metal, like with Sweet Tooth, and maybe Mister, and maybe the Shadow King, because the Shadow King from X-Men has those same exact teeth. So I'm thinking he might be the Shadow King too. And the one thing I'm not angry about it, but the one kind of thing I'm trying to think of, like, what are they gonna do really? Because Raw's got to pick up the pace, and I mean, it was a solid C. There was some segments that were good, the matches were good, but it just fell flat. And the wild card rule, which I made a prediction about, didn't really it happened, but it kind of didn't happen. And it's like I don't really know what they're doing with the Viking experience. I don't really know what they're doing with them because they didn't say anything to them about Raw about the Money in the Bank with them. All they did, the only person that's having a tag team title match is SmackDown, which is really kind of I don't know why they didn't just send the War Raiders to SmackDown because Raw they're not getting any title shots, and that U.S. title thing it's gonna happen for Ray. It is gonna happen probably on the kickoff show, but it's not really doing anything, to be honest. And it was basically another promo segment between Ray and Joe, which I liked, but I wasn't really into it because I feel like that rivalry is really over underwhelming. I feel like it's just another David and Goliath thing with the Big Show and Rey Mysterio back in the day, and I just kind of feel like Samoa Joe should be in the main title picture, just like Braun should be in the main title picture, part of the rivalry with AJ Styles and Seth. But I just don't get creative. Like they're not putting him in there, and he needs to be in there because if he wins the Money in the Bank ladder match, and he wins and he cashes it in, or he fights AJ and Seth, that means both of them are gonna have to work together and beat him to get the title. And I just feel like Seth is gonna fight and he's gonna do what he does, and I like that he's doing it. But I just cannot stand the fact that they don't have anything for him. And I did like the segment between Lacey Evans and Charlotte when they both were like when she was gonna give Becky the woman's right, but she was like I'm not gonna get my dress dirty. And I just don't like Lacey Evans. I just don't like her because I just feel like she's not. it's not the gimmick that throws me off. It's just like she has no storyline. Because once the Becky thing is over, she's not really gonna get a rivalry unless Naomi gets into it, or Bailey, or somebody like, or just Naomi in general, like, or Tamina or Nia Jax, or Becky or Nikki, and Nikki or Alexa, and I just feel like there's nothing there, because I did like the Nikki Cross and Alexa segment, because she did feel sad and they were like trying to be best friends and talking to each other, and I did like the new shirt she had, which was cool. And I don't know, I just feel like Alexa Bliss is being wasted too. Like, I feel like she's being wasted talent. And I feel like they're not really doing that much with her. And I feel like they kind of just said, you know what, let's just throw it on. Let's just leave her, give her a segment, and she's good. She's really good at her job. But I just feel like there's no pull. But all in all, I would give Raw a C, because they had some good segments. They had some really good segments. It was good. It wasn't that bad, but they could do better. I think they could do better. I think it's time. I think once Money in the Bank passes, and once the Raw after Money in the Bank happens, I think Raw's gonna have a solid show the next week, I believe. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna talk about SmackDown now because I got a lot to cover. So, SmackDown, the opening was cool. The opening was good, because what I liked about it was the fact that Roman came out, made a promo, and said he came out and made a promo and he was talking about Elias and he made some jokes. And I like that the Miz came out and tried to sing like Elias, but he said, "I'm ready to." He's like, "There will be no." He's like, "There will be nowhere for Shane to hide, nowhere for Shane to run." Because I think he was talking about that song, where come out wherever you are, I'm gonna find you, like the song with Lauryn Hill in it. I think there was a reference to that, and I really like the fact that the promo segment actually turned out into a complete brawl, which was good. It turned out into a complete brawl with the Usos and Reigns and Miz. But the thing was, he got ejected from the building. But I did like the 3-on-4 handicap, and then that opened up. And the actual first match we had was a fatal 4-way with Finn Balor, Randy, Andrade, and Mustafa Ali. And I'll tell you guys, Mustafa had a lot of good tricks up his sleeve. Like, he had a lot of good spots. And my greatest thing was that he had this super kick, and he kicked Andrade like straight in the jaw. And the funny thing is, I thought he was gonna use the ladder to block it, and he tried and he just kicked him. And then the thing is, like, he actually figured out a way to counter like everything that Andrade was trying to do. But I could think he could be a future champ, because he's got the speed for it, and he's ridiculous with the senton, because he did like a modified X Factor, because the way he almost had it, because like he grabbed him by the head, and it looked like a modified I saw the match, but it's like a modified X Factor, and the way it was, like, he actually got Andrade, but he landed it wrong. And I did like Andrade, because he did a lot of cool stuff. He did the knees, he took and I did like the Vega. I did like the promo segment when they came out together. Zelina and Andrade came out. I did like the promo segment. I liked the promo segment because it was cool. It was fun. It was really cool. I liked it. It wasn't bad. It was really good. You know what I mean? She had a, like, you know what? I like that she's actually trying to be more of the manager type, but she's not, like, she kind of reminds me of Bobby the like, she's kind of being like Leo Rush, but in female form. But the thing is, she's not hyping him up, and she's giving him instructions, and he won the match. And the thing was, what I liked about it, like, Finn was on fire. Like, did the drop kick through the, like, did the drop kick right, sent Andrade into the ladder, and he tried to do he actually tried to do he actually tried to do, I forgot what he was trying to do the coup de grace, and Andrade stopped him, like, he blocked him. And the crazy part was, like, he got momentum, but he just, like, at the end, like, he threw Finn into the steps, and he was pretty much out like a light, and he did the hammerlock DDT, and he won. It was really good though. But that was a really good match. And then the second match we had, which I liked, was the 3-on-4 handicap match between Shane McMahon, Elias, Daniel Bryan, and Rowan, which was really good. They had a lot of good spots, but the best spot I liked was the fact that the best spot was like when Jay was like he was just done. He not Cause the thing is he was going to jump and then Rowan just pushed him off the rope and he landed into the barricade. I'm actually surprised his teeth didn't come out. Cause that's a straight landing on your face, so your teeth will come out. And then that happened, and then after that, it was just crazy because like Roman had a lot of good spots because like he actually got him with the Superman punch, but he was still standing, and Rowan threw Roman into the steps, threw him out the match, and then it was just Jimmy left. So Jimmy's like super kicking everyone. He super kicked Shane, and he just like Shane felt like a bag of potatoes, just fell down, and then it was and then and then Daniel got kicked in the face. He fell, and Rowan fell, and then he tried to kick him again, but he missed. And then Daniel got the running knee, and he tried to pin him, and Roman saved the match. And then and then what happened was after that they tried to I think Roman tried to do a spear to Rowan, and he missed, and he jumped off the rope and did another Superman punch. He caught him, and then what happened was Shane was actually he set him up to do the coast to coast. I actually thought he was gonna miss it, but he made it, and he actually landed it perfectly precision, and he won. And then the Miz came out at the end of the match. They were beating them all. They were beating them up, like they were just dogging them. And then Miz came out and hit everyone with a chair, because he hit Rowan in the back of the head, Rowan in the back, and then he hit Daniel Bryan in the head with the chair, and then Shane hit him, and then he hit Shane, and then he hit Elias, and they stood tall. That was a really good match. They really stood tall. They stood tall. And you know what's funny? And then that happened. And then the next match was what was the next match? The next match was a woman. It was a really good segment. Well, they had a really good package with Charlotte and Becky, how they became best friends and bitter rivals. And I really think that should be for the women's best friends, bitter rivals too. That should actually be a good video package name for it. Because it kind of reminds me of Shawn Michaels and Triple H back in 2002, 2003, best friends, bitter rivals. And then it was a great video package how they were talking about how they won. But the one thing I didn't like was that when Becky said "I am the man" and he said "To be the man you gotta beat," and Charlotte said "To be the man you gotta beat the man." That's a really good quote from the father. And the thing was, she said it was laughable, but she said I'm gonna win the SmackDown Women's Championship. And then after that, Lacey Evans did a promo and said everybody just likes to. I guess everybody forgot about me and they started watching the Becky and Charlotte show. He said Becky has two championship matches against Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's Champion. Then she has a match against me for the Raw Women's Champion. It's like after they won't be calling. She said after the match they won't be calling Becky two belts in. They will call her Becky Blackout, which I liked the promo because it was a funny thing. That was really good of a joke. And then that happened, and then after that, and then we had a women's match which was really good. Yeah, we had a women's match which was good, and it was Kairi Sane against Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose. They had a lot of good spots. And the Iconics, I don't know. The Iconics, I want them to be a women's tag team, but they're just so laughably funny. Like not in a commercial, like their gimmick, but they're just funny because they really think they're not gonna get beat, and they only have those. They're not even defending those titles, which because I did like the name they called them the Kabuki Warriors, which I really think they should be the Empresses of WWE. That was actually a better name, but I'll give Paige points for that. Because the other thing I just didn't like about it was the fact that even though it was a really choppy finish because I thought Mandy pinned her, but I think I didn't think the ref saw it. I think he should have reversed the decision to restart the match. Because what was crazy is like Kairi Sane is getting faster and faster, man. But it was a good match. But I also like the Aleister Black promo and how he was talking about the bar and how his opponents try to get into his head the valley of the quest that you're trying to take. I did like the Bard quote. I did. And I love Aleister Black's promo. Like, he's not doing this on a Raw. He's coming to SmackDown. He keeps giving us more, and that's what I like. He keeps giving us more. And then the last thing I'm gonna talk about, guys, is the Kevin Owens segment, because that's the last thing I gotta talk about, because I gotta watch 205 soon. And I'm like I said, guys, I am doing a 205 and NXT review, because I'm gonna do both. So I'm gonna watch 205 tonight, and then I'm gonna do NXT tomorrow. So you'll get the video, you'll get the full video tomorrow after NXT. But anyway, I'm gonna talk about the Kevin Owens and Kofi segment, because you know what? I liked how Kevin Owens is. I actually like this side of Kevin Owens, because it's actually showing me a different, and I'm looking at it a different perspective, guys, and that's why I'm glad I'm not talking long about this. I told you, it's gonna be about 15. It's gonna be about 18 minutes long, guys. But I'm only doing like a couple minutes into it. I like the fact that Kevin and Kofi's rivalry is still hot. Like, ever since it started, it's like, and it's not just a rivalry between him and Kofi. It's the rivalry between the whole New Day, because they feel like they're betrayed. But I like the fact that Kofi is trying to fight Kevin Owens and doesn't care about all the tactics he's been using. And I like the fact that they did his video package, how he's been winning champion after champion, which is good. But I don't think him being WWE champion is gonna happen at Money in the Bank. I don't know, but I like the fact that this rivalry is happening, because it's actually showing us that Kofi can be. He might. It's not about him being with the New Day. It's about the clash of ideals, of being a transitional champion, of being a champion for 11 years, who's been after the championship for 11 years, and see where your passion and your initiative takes you. With Kevin Owens, he's just trying to prove to the world that he's a prize fighter, and he does it because he loves it. He does it because he doesn't see a challenge in Kofi. He doesn't see him as a champion. That's why I think Kevin thinks he's gonna win. But I did like the promo, they had, and they were gonna fight, and then he kept baiting him. He kept using the mind games about 4 or 5 times through the promo segment. Because as soon as he came down to the ring, and Kofi ran and just started wailing on him, and then Sami Zayn came out of nowhere and just knee kicked him, kicked him in the face. And the crazy thing was, he was going to do the pop-up power bomb, but the thing is, I think Kofi broke out of it. He was fighting, and the crazy part was, I actually thought that Big E was gonna come out, but I did like the fact that he dragged him. He's like, "Look at me when I'm talking to you." He's like, I could end your career, but I'm not. I'm going to wait till Sunday. And he tried to cannonball him, and then Kofi just, ducked out of the way, and then Sammy tried to do the haluva kick, and he missed him. And then Xavier comes out, and he gets thrown into the steps, and then that was a really good segment. He's like, and Kofi says, "You did this to yourself." He's like, "Whatever happens on Sunday, that's on your head." I actually like that that's the thing. And before I go, guys, I'm going to talk a little bit more about it. It's going to be I'm not going to be that long, but it's going to be a little bit. I like the fact that Kofi is actually being himself, but I like the fact that he said it's on your head. Because the thing is, the rivalry has become so intense that that's where it's going to head to. But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see on Sunday. Good night. Like, comment, subscribe. Good night, guys. Peace.